Greetings, vat-grown colonists. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the first Wendigo, episode 139, Backdoor Neanderthals. So, top of the stream, there's the poll for the nanochip from the Apocryton. There is waste pack atomizer. I will mention that our waste pack atomizers have not really been at capacity for a while. Not to say that we couldn't add more, but I don't think that unless we start gestating more mechs, it's going to be necessary. The implant, if you're wondering, would be the remote repair. Or the remote probe, which allows you to repair something remotely. So you don't have to stand next to the mech to repair it. It's sort of like a heal over time. Kinda. And then gestation would be another mech for Wendy, I think, to control. Speaking of which, I'm going to have Bryzit take back Diamond, because Wendy is currently not... She really doesn't need to control any mechs herself. She's sort of delegated that job to others, because it's more efficient to have them do it. So we're just going to wait for these rhinos to sort of die off or whatever. I actually might make a bit of an effort to kill them myself, so that we have rhino meat and rhino leather to clothe prisoners, etc. And then after you decide on how to use the nanochip, I think what I'll do with the signal chip is just an implant. That's what I'm going to pick. And then the priority of at least the initial priority of the stream. So I have a few different ideas, a few different directions, but I'll also take viewer input as well. Now it looks like we have a quest to look at. It is a rather large monument for honor, a Zeus hammer, which is psi meditative, which is not bad. Skull cap, plasteel, prestige marine armor, and uranium. So it's a huge monument for kind of like somewhat lackluster rewards. You can vote on that regardless. The psi meditative Zeus hammer wouldn't be a terrible weapon for Bryzit to use as just extra meditation. The thing is, we don't have a lot of constructors in this colony, but that's actually something I could start to change. So one of the things I could do is to have some of the new people smooth out stone as just like a practice for a construction skill, which would allow me to take on larger construction projects without relying upon the construction bots. But in doing that, I need to deprioritize construction for Wendy, because I don't want her smoothing stone out. That's beneath her station. You guys voted for me to use the nanostructure chip as an implant, so I'll queue that up. That would be the remote probe. I do find it interesting that for War Queens, there's 3 implants. You know, there's the control high, the remote repair, remote shield. But for the nanostructure, there's only remote probe. I mean, of course, there's the Mech Lord suit of gear. But, like, because without mods, armor in this game eventually decays no matter what, I'm surprised that the Mech Lord armor... I mean, it's really nice, but given either Mech Lord armor or just relying on band nodes, Mech Lord armor doesn't even come close, in my opinion. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. So there's the remote probe. And then for the gestation chip, we could give that to low, I think, because Bryzit and Mass are already maxed. So, yeah, that'll work. That way, if any of the worker bots gets broken, Low can revive more quickly. Raven, thank you for the resub. So here is the big poll, which is, what should the priority be? Buy shock lances through trade and capture additional prisoners. So quickly analyzing that, my Neanderthal and my Impid are full. I have space for wasters. I have space for pigskin and Edekin. And then it's not exactly easy to get dart moles, but I, of course, have space for dart moles as well. I'm probably desperate for dart moles, but, you know, that's besides the point. So you guys can vote on that. The other thing I will mention, because it's not exactly part of the Wendigo project, but I had mentioned in the past that I thought it would be really useful for, I thought it would be really useful for my implants and my colonists to have a high mate. So for Ancient Dangers, it would be possible to capture high mates. High mates do exist in Ancient Dangers, whereas unless I get really lucky with a slaver happening by, I'm probably not going to get a high mate any other way. So I'm not trying to necessarily influence the polls, but the advantage of going to Ancient Dangers would be that there might be implants for Wendy, like Architect Legs, perhaps, or something like that. And then also the possibility of high mates, which, you know, would help the social guides of the colony, because I don't have great social gene analyzed. Also, Ancient Dangers can also have Hussars and Genies. Hussars are a little hard to capture from Ancient Dangers, because Hussars are shock lance proof, whereas High Mates and Genies are not shock lance proof. But that aside, that's also a choice. I think probably I will start to round up everybody to go manually kill these rhinos, because I don't want the rhinos to leave the map tile, because if the rhinos leave the map tile, I can't butcher them. So, rallying everybody for a bit of a fight. And one more minute on that poll. Yeah, this is not really helping them learn how to construct all that effectively. All right, here comes the swarm. Yeah, I'm finally starting to smooth out the mountain tiles, right? That's a signal of late-stage rad content. I will take that criticism as a badge of honor. But also, in this case, it isn't about me wanting smooth mountains, it's about me wanting more capable constructors. For once. Okay, it looks like shock lances and capture prisoners is going to be the priority. Awesome. What's growing in the Eastern Pod? Yeah, I've actually noticed that for whatever reason, the latest patch has a lot of like pink texture nonsense like that. Best to be ignored, I think. It's not meaningful in any way. Just a little broken. First comes shaving and then smoothing. Yeah, well, you know it. You know it. That is my modus operandi. And these rhino are fast. Back up, little ones. One thing I could do is just have Wendy skip ahead and start, you know, working on the group. She's a little bit faster than everybody else by a factor of 10. The other thing I suppose I could have done is to have all my brawlers form a choke point and just like brawl bash them down. And that's not an entirely bad idea. Let's do that over here. Force this door open. Get all my shooters behind it. I'm kind of waiting on some brawlers, though. They're a little slow. So I'll close the door until the brawlers get here. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to break this faster than Wendigo could repair it. So we're just waiting on Fayup. I'm going to put Frosty actually in the front. Alright, they are going to break it, but not because... Yeah, there we go. And the slaughter begins. So far, the rhinos are not faring very well. Absolutely massacred. They, like, tickled Frosty a little bit. This definitely made short work of the fight. And I'll start to let my shooters out and do their own thing. Actually, I couldn't have timed that better because it looks like these rhinos are leaving the map tile. So if I waited any longer, I would have lost the opportunity to hunt them. Yeah, these shotguns are absolutely vicious weapons to use at sort of point blank. Poor Rosie's like, why did you have to let them in the walls? There's so much blood. Whatever, Roomba. That's your job. So there's a few left over here. What are you running from? And then any of the ones that are not tapped out, I'm going to tap out. In fact, all of these shooters should be hunters at some point, so that I can actually finish them off. Oh, one got back up. Yeah, it's down again. Looks like Bryzit's actually taking a beating. Yep, let's get Bryzit out of here. I didn't even notice. I look down and I see that he's like wounded. The only answer to that would be Rhino got in. Yeah, alright, so they're busting in. This door, I guess, was left open or opened by T-Sang. Oh well. Easy enough to fix. Just send some brawlers out that way. I'd be tempted to try to chaos skip these rhinos into the prison to have the prisoners fight the rhinos just for like entertainment's sake, but I won't do that. All right, Mitty, backup's coming. Here it comes. Lucky enough, a lot of these rhinos didn't immediately decay and rot, given my difficulty level, so I will have a lot of rhino meat for the prisoners to eat. Okay, perfect. Krabs became an adult and got cannibal. So he loves drugs and human meat. Okie dokie. Copy that. So I'm going to have Brazit rest up a little bit, and then have Brazit head out and try to buy some additional shock lances for the capture of more prisoners. What species or what race should I capture? Pigskin, waster, Edekin. What do you guys think? So there's that poll. So for wasters, I've got 4. Pigskin, I got 4. Edekin, I got 3. They're all valid targets. I didn't include dirt moles because there's no dirt mole faction, so I can't just, like, go after dirt moles. It's not possible. I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. Speaking of meat, don't I have enough to stop feeding the prisoners rice for a while? Yeah, I would have to reorganize the hoppers, though, and I don't care to do that. It's easy enough just to, you know, not do that. Awful animals. We got off of the hussar. I already have a copy of that, so this one's going to be sold. In about 9 hours, we get to scan the genie again. And then, Kath, what is your timer? 2.4 days? Nice. But yeah, ultimately you're right. I could absolutely stop feeding the prisoners rice. It just would require me to empty out each hopper. And, you know, that's a non-zero effort type of thing to remember to put back. Oh, look at you smoothing out over here. I guess one thing I could do is, I'll leave my mechs to smooth things out. I still have to poll you guys about the construction of that monument. See if you want that or not. Alright, time's slowing down, so who's fleeing? Who's under attack? There is combat somewhere. Is it Mitty? No. Oh, it's Violet. Really? You're going after my, okay. Rude, but typical. My little Roomba is getting attacked. Ridiculous. Knocked her out, too. Punishment for that is death. But you passed. Okay. Well, Frosty fixed that. Wendy, you want to just, like, hunt the remainder so that I'm not constantly annoyed by time slowdowns? And then the other thing I'm going to need to do is to haul or burn some of these corpses because there's a lot of rhino corpses that are going to be a little bit of a problem. It's good melee practice, I suppose. This has been handy. And that is the last rhino. Oh, Mitty hit 20. Oh, wow. Wendy's just like, enough of that. Stop playing with your food, or stop playing with the prisoner's food. Just, like, gank some instant. So there's the nanostructure chip, and it looks like Wendy's already getting the gestator chip. Violet's all repaired up, and we are all good to go. All I need to do is to make sure that the north door... Oh, it's already replaced. It's just forced open. Alright. So, dumping stockpile of critically important, rotting-only rhino corpses. Just so that we can move these corpses outside the walls. And I'll probably expand this. Now that there's no threats outside, I can also have the lifters unshackled to be able to go wherever they want. Same with the construction bots. I'm going to call this poll a little early. Looks like you guys want me to attack an Edekin community. I am all for that. Capture additional Edekin prisoners. The monument quest. Should I accept the monument quest? And as a little reminder, I'll show you what it is. So it is, what, like 5K material? Something like that? Like 6K material. 2,500, 3,500. For either honor, meditative Zeus hammer, Eltec skullcap plasteel, marine, prestige marine armor, and uranium. You can vote on that. The gestureship is done. Where be it? Here it is. And now T-Sang's making the remote repair. I'm also going to ask you guys who should get remote repair. Kath, you have tattered apparel of a slave collar. I vaguely remember telling you specifically to wear a new collar. I guess I canceled that order? Okay. It's news to me. We are heading into the summer, so we are heading into weather that will allow me to do some trade. It looks like I'm going to need to gift some more stuff to Amtas in order to keep that relationship solid. So let's go ahead and do that now. I suppose we can gift all the unwanted eggs, because I have the eggs that I want to keep behind a locked door. I do have some ovum, or ova, that I can do something with as well. Let's see. Flop cap. Slave collar, cloth mask. These are all things that could be good gifts. And I'll send some corsets. All right. No monument quest. Copy that. Who gets the remote repair implant? So this is the one that T-Sang literally just made, the repair probe. It would either go to Mass, but Mass has remote shielder, but not remote repair. It could also go to Brazit. Brazit doesn't have either. Oh no, Brazit has remote repair, but not remote probe. Or Lo, or Wendy. Wendy doesn't control robots, but she could use it, and then Lo only controls workbots. But they're all technically valid recipients. So, there you go. Once this gift bag is sent to Amtas, I will then send Bryzit out to go buy some shock lances. So I have 2 shock lances, which would be enough to capture 4 Edekin, which would almost fill up my prison, right? I have 5 empty beds here, so 1 more shock lance is probably going to be enough. In fact, it might not be a bad idea for me to call in trade caravans. So calling in Annalore and Glitterworld Empire, and then waiting on the gift bag to be sent to call in Amtas. Didn't you say that Bryza has remote repair? Oh, yeah. I mean, you have remote repair. You don't have remote probe. Those are not mutually exclusive. You can have both. So, it's fine for you to receive it. In other words. You know, Morton, I think you're right. I think that I have so much meat at this point that I am going back on what I said, and I'm going to overwrite the hoppers because I have meat spilling out into nowhere with nowhere to store it. And I'll just have to remember it, you know, sometime in the future to remove the meat from the hoppers. If I ever get low on meat. How goes it with the rattling red wife this long weekend? Good. Rattling and red wife are out to visit the Rad grandma? It's not my grandma, but my wife's mother for Easter. Okay, Mass wins by a small margin. Okay, Mass. There you go. Hey, Wendy, this is, you know what? I don't even care if it's a danger. I'm just gonna have Frosty do this real quick. I don't really want rotting rhinos within the walls. There's something nasty about that. It also props open the door, which is a huge vulnerability. I have somewhat compartmentalized the base, as you can see, with doors here and here. So, like, even if you breach one wall, you only gain access to a small segment of the base. It requires a lot more breaching for it to become like a cascading problem. By design. I wonder how many people were bothered by the color of the stone. 'Twill be fixed. Alright, the gift bag only is waiting on embryos that are probably locked up on purpose, so let's send this. And we were sending it to Amtas. Done. Oh, whatever. Medical emergency. You're just a wuss. Okay, gave gift. And, Chimmick, let's have you go call them in. So one more shock lance, and we'll be good. I think I'm also going to send Bryzit out to go try to buy shock lances. Oh, hi. Attacking immediately. Multiple different angles. So we've got 55 tribals here, 46 tribals here, and 48 tribals there. So, all in all, 149 enemies coming in. Cool. Unfortunately, I have like a lot of people that are out of position, and a lot of mechs that are probably in peril as well. The door is closed as well, the technical access to the base, so I'm going to need to remedy that. We are in a fight. So Lil and Slowin are going to drop what they're doing. These guys are going to attack immediately. They're not sappers or anything like that. Little worried about Noisy Boy and Rexy, because they're kind of far out of position. But the plan will be to try to use some of the mechs. I haven't used the combat mechs in quite some time. So we'll send the combat mechs to the fight zone to have them help to defend. One of the things about fighting impids is, like, they breathe fire. It's kind of annoying because, you know, fire breathers are a real vulnerability to Wendy, who is sanguiphage. So I have to take this more seriously than I would otherwise have to take raids. What are the makeup? Any good dirt moles? It's a... Oh, actually, this is Kikik. No. Excuse me. These are Neanderthals. Yeah, okay. I thought they were impids, but yeah, they're Neanderthal. So they're 100% Neanderthal. That's just how Neanderthal raids work. And that means that Wendy can go mess with them like a lot more than I had originally thought. Which is good. Oh, you know what? I have enough shock lenses. I just realized that Wendy has one on her. So, as does Lillian. You know, we're ready to go abduct. Yeah. Got it. So I opened the door. They will be allowed access to the base. It does look like Noisy Boy may not make it. So I'm going to, instead of having him potentially open the door for the enemies, I'm just going to have Noisy Boy take a knee and get smashed a bit. Why are these guys going south? These doors are closed. A little worried about that. So let me quickly send Chimik and Mass over here to repair the doors, because I'm not really sure why they're heading south. It shouldn't be a valid target. It's quite strange. All right, you little Neanders. Have fun. Okay, they very, very quickly breached that gate. That means, Wendy, I'm going to want you over here, and then everybody able-bodied. This, I think, will be the choke point. Down here. Because there's really nothing going on over here. It's unfortunate this door's open. I hope that they don't trigger that door as a valid attack point. But, now, Wendy, you should be jumping. That was weird. I don't know why she decided to not be moving. Yeah, I don't really get... I think because the door wasn't immediately open, they thought it was a valid target, and the net result of that is, you know, that we're in a fight like this, but, you know, oh well, whatever. So, Jack, you're going to hold stem the tide of the raiders here. The Scythers are going to try to join you, and then we'll put as much firepower back here as possible. It actually might be better if this here was the bottleneck instead. So, actually, I'm going to pivot them, because I can fit a lot more guns behind if I put it here. So everyone here. And then Jack, because you're first in. You know what? The Scythers might be a useful way to slow them down a little. Just so that everybody else can get into position. We have a happy vat birth. Lo, I'm going to have you peel out. So this is a hybrid who needs to be imprisoned. So it doesn't require any sort of implant. Well, I guess it requires a perfect prisoner implant, which I don't currently have one. So we'll get that cooked up. But for now, I can have... And you are Baby Shellbell. Genetically important, but not colonist worthy. I'll have Kath go grow Shellbell in the vats. All right, you can see them all stacking up and getting ready. I don't want to blast a hole in the, yeah. So I don't want to do this. I'm not gonna have fire at will. Let's have Marauder hang back. And Wendy should be able to hit a really nice berserk on this crew. So the other issue is this southern door is still open. But because I already have an access point in the east, I might as well close this door and have the western raiders come around to this point here. Violet, other mechs. So Violet and Rosie, you're going to be bunkered for now so that you don't get yourself blown up. Well, that will be fun. In fact, let's do it twice. And then Wendy, how many bloodlust? You don't have any bloodlust kills, so let her rip. I did just get remote repair, so Mass, let's use it. Repair probe. Oh, this just increases repair speed. My bad, I forgot what it did. Bryzit, where are you? Here you are. Let's have you remote repair. Where is... Ah, here it is. You're not even doing it. That's not useful. Dave, are you done closing the door? Alright, Judea, get out of there. I could always just use Wendy to, like, skip Alp and switch who's tanking, or even put Marauder in. Oh, or they died. Okay. Alright, the reason I wanted Judea here is Judea offers a shield dome over Wendy so that Wendy can't get attacked by the ranged units while she shreds them. Alright, so Dave's already closed that western door. What about the other groups? They're going to be coming in to this entryway. Except for you. I don't know what you're doing. You're a social fighting ant. So they're going to slowly filter in here, and this is going to be just like a bottleneck for them. Which is totally, totally acceptable. Marauder, what I'm going to do for you is to put you in as next tank. And then, let's say, Lilin or Chimik. Let's have you bring your combat shotgun down here, as well as Mass. I'm going to start stacking this up with shooters. Not sure what my lifters are doing, so I think all of my mechs are going to be bunkered, just to be out of the way, because it's going to be good for their life if they're not in the way. Ryzik can continue to just repair the robots that have taken damage. So there we go. Now Marauder's in the way. I don't see that the Neanderthal are going to be able to plow through Marauder, like, really at all. Hi, Dave. And then I think I am so very certain that this is sort of cinchy at this point that I'm going to dismiss kind of everybody else. So everybody that is not currently drafted will be bunkered so they don't get themselves into trouble, but I don't really need the additional backup. I'm good. I wouldn't mind Marauder to, like, inch up to fit more shooters back here. but it's not necessarily urgent. Now, the only problem with all these corpses is it's going to be a heck of a lot of cleanup. Batteries on fire? Yeah, they got down to the batteries, didn't they? Fang face is where? Here you are. I don't think there's much that Fang Face is going to be able to do, but I will attempt. Unfortunately, I don't have a good way to access that area at present. So the first group is fleeing. Yeah, it's just going to be a chain explosion. That's annoying. So this door in the future is just going to be a keep shut door, maybe a quick open access door. Oh, they broke a hole in the side. All right. Well, you know how I said I'm not going to need others. I guess just the gradual damage added up. So we'll get everybody back here. I think oh yeah, actually the batteries, a fair portion of them survived. As long as I can keep the raiders away from that spot, it'll be fine. What I was going to try to do is to have Fang Face jump launch himself into position. To try to slam that shut. So I think what I'm going to do is plug this here. Oh, Chimmick finally took damage from little Zagora here. Chimmick plug, or Orange Chaos plug this southern choke point. And yeah, we have more coming in. So Wendy, you know what? You want to deal with that? Let's have you deal with that. Alright, you. Get out. Alright, oh, that should have been closed. Let's hope it closes. No? Oh, no, it's closed. Okay, so the batteries are safe. I somehow jumped through a closing door. I don't know how, but I don't mind. And then I'll just get Wendy back to the rest of the group before the raiders start to set everything on fire down there, causing panic for Wendy, which would not be good. Chimmick, you want a little backup? Backup's coming. So there's not much I can do about the wind turbines because it's not walled in any meaningful way. So that's just kind of a lost cause. Alright, the bottlenecks are being held pretty well, I think. Starting to take a little bit of damage from the range because Judea's dome shield has failed. And I'm going to try to get more shooters present in the fight to sort of thin them out quicker. Wendy is also joined, so that will help. Fang Face. I'm going to try to have Fang Face fire foam pop this area to stop the fire on the wind turbines. And I do have others that are ready to respond to this fight. So I'm going to start to bring them down. I drafted them, but I never actually moved them, I guess. Thought I had, but clearly not. Okay, cool. Well, this looks really, really messy, but, like, the TLDR is they're just getting annihilated. There we go. So I've plugged the broken hole. Marauder has taken more damage than I would like, but I don't think they're going to get through him anytime soon, so it's not urgent. Whoop, can't touch me. Pilgrims have arrived. This is a really awkward time for 3 little children. Are you guys dressed in human skin? Oh, you're not. I thought it was human skin because it was the right color. I was almost excited that they were like properly a proper pilgrimage for once, but no. Group number 2 is fleeing, so we only have 1 left. And they are up here. These are almost certainly going to kill my pilgrims, which is kind of annoying. But, you know, what can you do? Unfortunately, I don't need any more Neanderthals, so there's no... this raid is of no use to me, genetically. I would rather have baseliners, to be honest. Oh, Protein's about to live up to his name when the Neanderthals kill him. He is indeed going to become Protein. I wouldn't mind everybody moving to this door as a choke point. Bringing the fight away from my power grid. Would not be unpleasant to me. Oh, there is a fire, though. So, fire up. Go put that out. Well, let's see. Vendetta, MIDI, Jack. Actually, MIDI back up. Frosty, Vendetta. Shooters, Dave and MIDI in the wings. More shooters. Judea, if your dome could come back, that would be, like, awesome. Who just shot Wendy? Like, you have one job. Don't shoot Wendy. That's your only job. Don't fail at your one job. Marauder, I'm going to have you... In fact, some of the mechs I'm going to have go back to repair because they're damaged and I don't need them. The reason why, Sarge, I'm not using Molotovs is Wendy, essentially. The most important member of this colony, by no insignificant margin, would be Wendy. And Wendy does not want people to use fire around her for kind of relatively obvious reasons. So, maybe at some point, if she reverse engineers the vampirism and removes her own tinder skin and pyrophobia, I could consider it, but until that moment, I won't be touching anything relating to fire on purpose. I'm not sure that these guys have hurt me yet. Like, Frosty, Vendetta, and 88 Jack have not even taken damage. This is just a meat grinder. Oh, Frosty finally took a bruise. And they're fleeing. Ooh, one of them dropped a whole lot. What are you? Were you like the leader? Berserker Chief? Yeah, you dropped a whole lot of silver, didn't you? Okay, everyone can take a break. And the children were actually not attacked. So I'm not going to be eating protein, after all. Wendy, I am sure you hit your killed and witness. Yeah, so, oh my lord. What a ridiculous... Her mood right now is like plus 200 or something. It's not even a number that could show up. It's just wonderful. Everybody in the colony, you are unrestricted. And then I can put the mechs back to work. So, lifters can lift. Instructors. Yeah, there we go. I kind of regret not calling in a weapons merchant from... So that's going to be something I'm going to need to do, because now my colony is completely full of, like, primitive weapons. Yep, the lifters have a few projects. Oh, look, they even broke this down here. What jerks. What absolute jerks. Luckily, the ambient temperature is cold enough that it doesn't really matter, but what jerks. For an unexpected breach, that was pretty minimal damage, I think. Did the fire... Okay, yeah, the fire foam popper got requeued. Could have been worse. Yeah, Wendy is dominates quite well. So it looks like it's going to be a tough fight. Is kind of like a joke to her. All that raid did was fill the coffers full of more food and made her happy about murdering people. Now, we did determine that I already have enough shock lances to be able to commit to an Edekin raid. But I'm going to wait for the trade caravans. That will allow me to repair the base, heal up, repair the mechs, etc., etc. Thank you for tuning in to The First Wendigo, which originally streamed live on Twitch April 9th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to get the live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Wendigo,